This is the Business Leadership Series Minute with your host, the best-selling author of Don't Buy a Duck and founder of MarketingStrategyHero.com, Derek Champagne.
So you talk about hacking the human, that we are the weakest link. What does that mean?
Let me give it to you in a story. I used to teach as a detective. One of the things I became good at and instructed at was in behavior analysis, interview and interrogation. I'd been through the FBI courses on serial crime profiling. And so this was something that was very fascinating for me. I ended up teaching out at the National Security Agency, taught to what they're called damage assessment agents. So after an espionage case, they'll send in their damage assessment team. What happened? How much exposure was there? And so some of the folks that were in there were from some significant espionage cases. The worst CIA traitor ever, Alder James. I had the people from the class in there, another guy named Harold James Nicholson, and then an FBI agent, Earl Edwin Pitts. So I had damage assessment agents from there. And the one thing is, it's always the human. Whether it's you might put out a policy that says you tell people you want to train them, hey, don't click on this link. There's two things about an insider. One is that they do malicious intent. One is that they do that the intent ends up being malicious because they either lack the proper awareness, the proper training, or they didn't care. I call it in the keynote speech I do. You don't know, you don't care, or Vegas, baby. You're taking your chances. One of those three things. Yeah. So the humans have been notoriously the most difficult thing to secure because I'm actually doing a thing for IBM coming up where we're doing an online talking about the insider threat and the humans. And I use those cases. I use of Robert Hansen, the worst traitor the FBI's ever had, Alder James, the worst traitor the CIA's ever had. And they do background checks, they do polygraphs, and these people still slip through. So what does it tell you? Well, it tells you people failed on both sides, both on the perpetrator side and both on the people who are supposed to detect it. So if I am the reason I say all that, now if I'm an attacker, the thing I do is, guess what I exploit? I exploit trust. I exploit sense of urgency, fear of loss. I just put out a blog post a little while back, Derek, talking about the impact of online social media or dating scams. And women are 82% of the victims in these cases. And just in the 6 months of last year, over $80 million was lost in online dating scams. This is what happens is they find somebody who they detect is vulnerable. The reason they know they're vulnerable, they're on a site looking for X or Y or whatever it is, and they start having a conversation. And before you know it, this person thinks, oh, I'm in love. I found my one true love. The next thing they're asking for is, oh, well, I was getting ready to come over, but my aunt had to have a surgery, so now I need $5,000 for a plane ticket and to do this.
To hear full episodes of the Business Leadership Series, visit blsnow.net.